Yeah.
preaching. They run in the air on the ball that's put in play, and then you get big bases to
Yeah.
double.
Yeah, again, just forcing the opponent to handle the baseball, and that's the key. And when all the catcher has to do is catch it and throw it around the horn, it's pretty easy. It's not a lot of stress on that play, but put the ball in play, use your speed, pressure, and run hard, and make them feel you a little bit. So I think that's going to be a big factor, Gary, for us going forward. Is just putting the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Luis, first game catcher, throws 2 guys out. The second one was a dodge. The first one, the second one was huge in the situation. Just how much was that to say?
Well, I can't say enough about how he affected this game on both sides of the ball. I thought he caught the ball extremely well. I thought he contained it well. One of those 2 throw-outs that you made mention, that's a big league play. That ball's down in the other batter's box, and for him to field that ball and then kind of throw with the body angle and the arm angle that he threw, and then show that kind of strength and accuracy, it was really good. And the other one he threw, I think it was like a 187 down the second. So landed on the ball that way offensively, and then had a couple other good swings too. So real proud of him. We haven't been using him, as much as he's capable of catching, because we're kind of waiting for somebody to evolve at first base a little bit, and I think Brady's starting to kind of show us some of that. So when we can do that, then we can, put Luis maybe behind the plate a little bit. So I told you earlier in the season, I thought our catching depth was pretty good. Seth's good, and Bennett obviously is good, and Luis is good. So it'd be nice to get him in there, because we needed to. We've been playing a bunch of different players and doing a bunch of different stuff, and that's one thing we hadn't done yet. But he's catching a lot of bullpens and doing a lot of stuff like that. And he's got a nice knack for it, too. He's communicate with Daniel well throughout the game, and I think he's sharing information about the hitters and the pitcher and all that kind of stuff like that. So I think give us a good, big boost going forward.
Closers supposed to be in the game, basically dominated the 4 people he got out.
Yeah. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, he got 5 outs with 12 pitches, or whatever it was. I think he only threw 1 ball. So came in a high leverage situation, first and third, and they tried to hit and run, and Louis cashed him out, and then just kind of put a cap on the inning, and then he was pretty sharp there in the ninth. So what we have to be able to do, Gary, is we've got to be able to get him in the game, and so the lead late is really important, because if we were going to show the characteristic of not being able to be in that situation, then we're going to have to make a decision about moving him forward. So, and that still could be a possibility, but he sure does give you good feelings when he's out there.
Jackson landed 3 hits today. He said he kind of struggled in the fall. Do you think you've seen him make leaps and bounds, or is it what you've seen from him all year so far?
Well, it's certainly leaps and bounds. The young man is hyper talented. You just stood right in front of him. You see what kind of physical specimen he is. It's kind of what I say, big, strong, fast guy. And he's got bat speed, he's got power, he's got speed in his legs, and he's just been continually getting better. I would say where he comes from, and the area that he was from, and the weather and all that kind of stuff. This is a whole new arena to him, and so every day that he could be out here competing against our guys, inserting him when we have, he's come through, and again, just wanted to reward him for his, hard work, and then what I think he can do to affect a baseball game. And tonight he made us look good as a staff, and so did Luis behind the plate. We made a couple of moves right there, start him when we needed a win. We needed a win tonight, big time, and so we give him a start left, and Luis gets his first start behind the plate, and Chandler was outstanding.
In a 5-game week, you need your starting pitcher to go deep, and Chandler gave you 5 innings of 1 hit ball.
Yeah, he did, and I thought the frustrating thing that I told him was, one, he obviously he did great. He got us into that middle of the game, which we were hopeful for. If we could give us even 3 or 4, we would have been pretty happy. But he was cruising good and throwing all his pitches for strikes and keeping them off the board. I think he did a great job. Where we run into trouble, a 5-run lead, Jerry comes with a big swing and splits the wedge there with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he gets he goes back out there and just kind of run away from the strike zone a little bit, and so between him and Slagle, we created some freebies for them, and they had some opportunities, and we were able to do some mixing and matching with Valagowski and DeVito late and cap off some few innings.
Same